Hello and welcome to Unity of Las Vegas. My name is Jim Lee. I'm the spiritual leader here. And I'm so glad that you are with us. And if this is your first time, open up your minds, open up your hearts, and feel love coming toward you because we are a center of love. Well, today, every day is a good day. This is a special day. And I would call it the fourth week of the series. And the series is entitled The Mystical Art of Abundance. And we're focusing this week, abundance of health. And so with that, we have a very special guest, Antanas Vainius. He is a spiritual guide and a teacher, and he is willing to share his, I would call it, dynamic and evolving map for nutrition. Now, this map is based upon his many transformative life experiences that has taken him to some special places, but then the other thing, he's come through it, and he's going to be sharing all of that with us. Antanas has a stand, I guess you would call his belief system that he wants to share with the world, and it is this: with nutrition and self-care, healing and transformation is inevitable. And so if you are watching live, please join us right after the service. At 11 o'clock, we have a special fellowship time, and you can ask questions, and we are come together as a community. You can check it out and go to our website to be able to have access to the Zoom call or take a look at the comments section. But before we get into all of that, I just want you to know the order of service for today. We've got the Daily Word with Randy. Music this time is by Adeline Wells and is entitled Look for the Good. And the message will be me and Antanas. And then the meditation, of course, will be Lisa's. Let's open up our minds and hearts to a mystical healing.
Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is today's Daily Word, Wisdom. I rely upon divine wisdom. When I embark upon something new and challenging, I quiet my mind as I go within and tap into the power of my inherent wisdom. As I reach beyond my intellectual knowledge and my life experience, I focus on my wisdom to discern the best course of action to take. As new opportunities arise before me, I can use them to lead me to a greater expression of myself. I use my power of wisdom to judge which opportunities will best expand my horizons and help me grow into a fuller expression of myself. With confidence and patience, I relax into the knowledge that my wisdom will lead me to answers, understanding, and clarity about my path forward. For wisdom will come into your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 10. Have a great day.
Thank you, Randy. Well said. One of the things I've been working on for myself is to learn how to respond instead of react, and I think you've nailed it on the head. Taking a breath and then tapping into wisdom allows me to take the next right and proper step. Well, good morning, friends. It appears we've all made a wise choice to be here and to be present this morning. It feels good to be with you. We want you to know that we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we see the Christ consciousness in each of you. If this is your first opportunity to check us out, we're glad you're here. We'd love it if you'd subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell. Share us with your families and friends. And join us after the service in our Congregational Fellowship Zoom room. The instructions are in the comments section below. It's free and easy to register. Just a great space to hang out, catch up with your Unity of Las Vegas family, or make some new friends. For our special music segment today, I've enlisted the help of our very own Adeline Wells. Adeline attends the University of Nevada in Reno, where she's studying music education and voice. She co-produces a video podcast with her husband Everett called Couple Talk, And she regularly posts her music on her very own channel, simply titled Adeline Wells, both right here on YouTube. Adeline's very good at tapping into her wisdom. For instance, she's performing a great song composed by Jason Mraz entitled Look for the Good. Here's Adeline Wells.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad. People done forgot the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes if there's a silver lining. We still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are. You're just like me. I see you're searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are. I'm just like you. I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do, but I keep on trying. When it gets frightening, look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
That was a great song by Adeline. I'm so glad that you were able to support us with your music today. But also today, we've got Antanas with us. I would call him a gifted child of nutrition and just a perfect person for our series, The Mystical Art of Abundance in the Area of Health. So you know a little bit about his bio, but you don't know him. So first of all, hi, Antanas, and welcome to Unity of Las Vegas.
Hey, Jim. Really, really good to be here.
And it's our pleasure to have you here. So let's get right into this. We don't have a lot of time. You've got a beautiful story, but I need to narrow it down so that we can incorporate it in such a way that the service can maintain itself in about 20 minutes or so. So Tell us a little bit about your health journey, because right now you look perfectly healthy and well and strong, but that wasn't always the case. So, what happened?
Well, in the interest of time, I will just cut to the chase, which was 7 years ago. This is not what you saw. I was hospitalized with full-blown AIDS, HIV-related meningitis, and pneumonia. And fortunately, my family brought me in just in the nick of time, according to the allopathic folks, saying, if you waited 7 more hours, you would have been bringing him to the morgue instead of the hospital. Sorry, that's a little dramatic, but
No,
that's
that's
kind of how they do it.
well, that was the absolute truth. And so you entered the hospital, and what did you discover about the health and healing as you were in? And I would call you were pretty much down, almost out position. So what did you discover about yourself in those 100 days?
Those 100 days were an opportunity. Well, actually, it was because of allopathic medicine. And I loosely refer to the nuclear level pharmaceuticals that were being put into my body to keep my body alive, that allowed me to do, actually this is fitting, what I believe is the soul level mystical work of figuring out why the hell I wanted to be here. And it was during the first part where I was going in and out of ICU and neurological ICU, like I was marked for death, and most people thought I was going to die, but I didn't. And I ended up using those 100 days. I don't know if that's the right word, but it was a time to reset, to really. I can't even convey the gravity of what was going on, but like it was a moment to go, all right, everything that you've done so far, it wasn't working. And you need to rethink this. And so after the 100 days, they rehabilitated me enough to be able to return back home. And it was actually in the 5 years after my hospitalization that I was doing the deep healing work of all the different traumas and arrests and injuries that allowed me to get to a place where it feels like my spirit was like, you've done good in these last 5 years, and now I'm ready to come back into you. And like there was this, like I kind of call it my Pinocchio moment, where my spirit came back in and it bowed with incredible reverence and gratitude to the pharmaceuticals and said, thank you, we'll take it from here.
I love it. So that steps us right into this mystical art of abundance and this healing regimen that I say is available to everybody. And so, how would you describe your mystical abundance in health and the transition into that? So, what would you say that is?
So I don't want to jump on this, but like whenever, I mean, you use the word regimen, and to me, that's a constraining thing. And what I found really important is to allow spaciousness, because when we start constraining prematurely, limiting ourselves, dieting, wink, wink, we eliminate the potential and the possibility of getting information that does not fit in the system that we are in. And so to me, nourishment is not about following a diet. It is about deep listening, an almost mystical listening, meaning that like it's really, really quiet. It's actually not very, mystical makes it sound like it's otherworldly, but we are constantly being spoken to by our bodies, by our spirits, by getting information about where to go, what to do, how to eat, where, we're always being awash in this kind of information.
Very good. And so now we're stepping into this wonderful place of how do you listen? When I listen to my body, it says, what are we eating? Pizza with pepperoni and olives, and Antanas, it really tells me exactly the toppings to go on the pizza. But that's not exactly what you're talking about, is it?
Well, it's the beginning. And the fact that you are listening to that kind of excites me, because you are connected to that voice. And we are always getting information. And then we just got to check where the information is coming from. And so I'm trying to, it's really about not ignoring what the mind says and prizing what the body says, nor is it about ignoring what the body says and prioritizing what the mind says. It's a dance, kind of like the infinity sign, where you have the body on one end and it flows into the mind on the other, and it just keeps on going back. And eventually you have a seamless dance where you can't tell who's leading, because you are so attuned that the satisfaction that you get from the message, from the voice, from the information, from the guidance, it just moves you forward in a way that's the mystical thing. Like when you're connected to that, there's a joy, there's a lightness, there's a satisfaction that your whole being radiates with.
Wow.
And that radiation kind of looks like joy, looks like happiness, looks like lightness. And it's kind of self-generating. But we got to start somewhere. And so if we're starting with pizza with pepperoni, totally fine.
Lisa and I have been working with you for the past several months, and you've really opened up our eyes to food, nutrition, and a way to be with it in a different way. In the past 6 months, you have not imposed upon us any particular diet. You have broadened our spectrum of eating, but it's eating a different kind of way, is more nutritional, that can feed us, and it really has repercussions in such a way that our whole body system becomes alive. Because Jesus the Christ indicated in the book of John and the 10th chapter, one of his famous statements is, I came that you have life and have it more abundantly. So now what we're doing is talking about, well, how can we have this abundant but life? Because we can't do anything unless we have life in this domain. And so now as we step into this abundant life and vitality and all of that, means that we're in a different relationship with our health. And it's not about the diets, it's not about pointing your finger, but it's coming from a different place. So just describe that just for a moment, because that is really important as we step into a more holistic health awareness.
So you're asking me to describe what this different orientation is?
Yes. Rather than a diet and all of that.
Okay, so the word diet, it has the word die in it, which
Yes.
is kind of suggestive. I don't know who made up that word, but like, I think there's something to that. And a diet simply is a system of eating imposed by the mind on the body. And if someone is imposing something on someone else, eventually somebody is going to pay. And the approach that I'm encouraging is something where you're listening with an ear, not to ignore either the body or the mind, but from a place where you're constantly paying attention to what feels enlivening, vitalizing, and ultimately satisfying. And if people have been eating pizza and sugar and all these things that are traditionally not very life-giving, there may be a period of adjustment. But I think one of the goals when I was working with you and Lisa was not to limit you, but to encourage you to explore and expand the possibilities. And by you exploring what was available, you naturally found your new center. And that process of discovery, it's incredibly empowering. And it's not about telling you what to do. It's about creating a capacity to listen to what your body needs. And your body is different from Lisa's. It wasn't about making you do what Lisa does or making Lisa do what you do. It was about creating space for both of you to co-create in your discovery of like what true health is, which is why I call myself a guide, not necessarily a diet dictocrat.
Well, you certainly have been what we call a guide and a teacher and actually a coach. And one of the things that you bring that I like is that because of the health challenges, so to speak, that you went through and that you were able to overcome, you bring what I would call street credibility. And that is, you've been there, done that, overcome that. We haven't even talked about all the things that you've been able to overcome. But you now are standing in a different place than 15 years ago. Now, what would you say that you are an advocate for, or that you are a stand for people on the planet?
I believe that we have entered the age of energy, the age of, it's this listening that gives us access to hearing, and we're vibrational beings. We are three-dimensional and we are of the body, but we are so much more than that. And the journey of my healing, my breakdown, it kind of shattered me, and it got me to listen and trust the fact that we are vibrational beings. And through that listening and alignment with that, healing and regeneration are possible if we nourish ourselves and truly take care of ourselves. So it's sort of a long way of saying that I must stand for the possibility of true, deep, complete healing.
I love it. I love that. And so now we're opening ourselves up to the possibility that healing is possible, and a mystical healing, and it's available to us right here, right now. We can start a process. And so, what are some things that you say, all right, on Monday morning, there is a possibility for you to wake up and to put your toe in the water for this mystical healing? What are some of the things that somebody could do?
Well, there are kind of three things that would be great places to start. One has to do with water. the other one has to do with breath, and the other one has to do with getting minerals or salt. Not the white stuff that is a byproduct of the munitions industry, but like Himalayan salt, something that has the full spectrum of nutrition in it. And so, the thing that sort of brings those things together is that if things are moving, if things are moving, things will find their balance. If we are stuck, that kind of says it all. But water physically allows things to move through the body. Breath allows energy and air and oxygen and carbon dioxide to move through the body. And salt actually helps the water go in and go through and come out of the body. So
those three things, what do they do? If we were able to do those three, is that like part of like a reset, or so we can start to hear what our body's saying?
That's a perfect word.
Yeah.
It flushes things. It washes things. Water literally washes. Breath literally moves things through so that we can start sensing, start feeling, start hearing, almost even start smelling. Like when we're juicy and plump, our bodies start working better.
So now we go back to, let's do one at a time. Water. Give an idea of how much water we should do, and is there anything we could add to the water to enhance this process?
So the basic guideline is you take your weight in pounds and you divide it by half, and that's how many ounces of water you would drink. So if you weighed 100 pounds, you divide that by 50 and you drink 50 ounces. And the whole point of drinking water is to hydrate, and one way to increase the hydratability or the solubility of water is to add full spectrum salt, like Himalayan salt or Celtic salt.
And describe breath work. I breathe every day, but you're talking about a little bit of a different kind of breathing. What would that be? And so give us an example.
So a really practical way of doing this is you want to breathe through your whole body. Most people, we don't even breathe up into our upper lungs. So one way to start is you put your hands on your chest and make sure that you can expand your hands when you take a breath in. And then you do that all the way down to your belly. And by enabling your whole body, your whole torso to expand as you inhale and contract as you exhale, that actually massages the organs. It contributes to moving that water that you put in your body and getting everything to flow.
This is a beginning set for reset so that we can tap into the health and the healing that's available to us all around us, and that is our natural birthright. So what I would like to do is to just offer this up. We're not able to cover everything. I just want people to know that we can have life and we can have it more abundantly. But in order to do that, we got to have a healthy life. So this is the beginning step. I like this. Drinking. So I need to drink half my weight in water in ounces. And I add a little Himalayan salt. Also, you recommended another kind of mineral that I put in my water. What was that again? What was the name of that?
It's a company called Trace Minerals. I think they are out of Utah. It comes in a blue bottle.
Right.
And you just add that to your water.
And then the other thing, then the breathing, I really like that, especially first thing in the morning to begin the process. And if I can remember during the course of the day, what I do is a full belly breathing, and then make sure my belly goes out like a little baby. And then that helps. And then the salt, the Himalayan salt, because I was told the salt is bad, but it's the iodine salt, and this is nutritional. Now, There are some other things that I think that are really important. This is just putting a toe in the water. I'd like for us to maybe have a little time with you. And maybe next Monday, we could do like a Zoom call for about an hour. And we will have an opportunity to explore what I know you don't like this name, but I'm going to call you Coach Antanas. To be able to share some additional insights if people would like to tune in. And we'll do it like next Monday will be the 8th. So on the 8th, I would just, can we do like a free call with you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I love how gentle you are in identifying who I am. And I just want to say one thing. A coach suggests that I'm above telling somebody else what to do. And as a guide, I have just gone a little further. And I'm about sharing what I know and helping you come up with your own map to your version of abundant health. So that's why, and I'm still trying to find the language, because in our language, it gets tricky.
So who should attend?
Anybody who wants to live life more fully. It really doesn't matter if you want to lose some weight, if you want to improve your blood pressure, all those things are great. If you want to look younger, all those things will happen when you start nourishing yourself. But if we're focused on those individual things, we're going to exclude all these other things. But if we find a holistic approach, all that stuff will most likely get taken care of. You'll lose the weight, you'll look younger, you'll feel better, you'll sleep better, you'll have more energy, and you're kind of going to be happier because all that stuff is interconnected.
Well, thank you, Antanas. This has been a great time. And I can personally attest that you know what you're talking about and what you're offering works. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want everybody to know that healing is possible. There is a mystical abundance that is all around us, in us, through us. And let's be with this, and let's all live a happy life. I really like, Antanas, we have a co-founder of the Unity Movement, and his name was Charles Fillmore. And at 92 years old, excuse me, I don't want to shortchange, he was 93. And this was 1931. At 93, he said, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm, and I leap forward to do the things that ought to be done by me. And I'm thinking, whoa, I want some of that. And so now I believe that we have this opportunity to have that, and it's available to everybody. So thank you for opening our eyes to it. Please check out the free little session that Antanas
The discovery call.
The discovery call. And so that you can get a taste more, because we didn't even scratch the surface. There's so much more that he has to offer and to share, but I just wanted to acknowledge who you are. May you be blessed, may you prosper, and may you live long in the whole process. Thank you, Antanas.
Yeah, thank you, Jim, and to Lisa for trusting me, letting me into your life, and sharing me with the people that you love.
God bless you. Thanks, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Jim and I have absolutely loved working with Antanas. His underlying philosophy about what sustains and what really creates health is very much in alignment with all that we have been exploring together about abundance during this series, and especially this focus on nourishment. I hope you'll be able to join us immediately following this service, or on February 8th so that you can connect with Antanas in real time. It's going to be very special. So now on previous Sundays, we have explored spiritual nourishment akin to an overflowing cup. And we're looking at this way of being, this overflowing cup way of being, as really foundational to light workers. So today I would like to take a look at energy healing. Now, I have been an avid follower of the work of Alberto Villoldo for the past 20 years or so. Now, he's a psychologist and a medical anthropologist who's traveled throughout the Southwest, the Amazon, and the Andes for the past 30 years, really discovering and delving deeply into the healing methods of the native cultures. And he has some beautiful teachings around chakras that I would like to share today. So many spiritual communities recognize 7 chakras, and Alberto recognizes 9. 7 that lie within the body and 2 outside of the body. The 8th chakra, which is located just a few inches above our heads, is where we experience a deep union with all of creation and the Creator. This chakra is often called Source of the Sacred, and it hovers just above the head like a golden spinning sun. We often see this chakra illustrated in paintings, like the halo that you see over the Christ or the Buddha or other religious figures. Now, since this is located outside of the body, it has a nature that is basically transcendent, living outside of time and space. And surrounding us on either side of our present incarnation with a largeness extending back before we were born and extending forward into the time after we die. This 8th chakra is unaffected by the death of the body. At the time of death, the 8th chakra expands into a luminous globe and envelops the other 7 chakras in a vessel of light, which remains intact until the time to manufacture and occupy another body. In any one incarnation, the information fields in the 8th chakra act as a template to create the physical body. It carries the imprints of trauma that we bring with us from one lifetime to another, that helps select the parents that we are born through. Now, these imprints predispose us to living, learning, aging, and even dying in very particular ways. This energy center is linked to the archetypal domain, so it also holds the original images and memories that belong to the entire human collective. And since it is disengaged from the mind, it is able to behold the mind with all of its dramas, but without buying into any of them. There is a larger wisdom here, witnessing our life unfolding, which understands that all of the stories we use to describe ourselves are just that, only stories. Everything we think we know about ourselves is not the real self. So now this 8th chakra is also referred to as the architect of the body, and that we can clear the energies of the imprints of our physical bodies, mental and emotional bodies, and create new ones. Yes, this is as amazing as it sounds. We already know through science that the cells in our bodies regenerate every 7 years. And through chakra energy work, we can reimagine, heal, and regenerate ourselves. Alberto tells a beautiful personal story of the healing of his own liver and heart. So the focus for today's meditation and today's message is nourishment. And so for the meditation today, we'll be directing our imaginal forces towards nourishing these imprints inside the walls of our 8th chakra, reprogramming any old, outdated patterns in our physical, mental, and emotional bodies, and thereby initiating a healing and a regeneration to take place there. So let's begin our meditation by finding a very comfortable way of being and sitting. And bring attention to your breath. Just taking some gentle breaths in and out. And noticing as you are focused here on the breath, that a beautiful alignment begins to occur in your physical body. And also aligning your thoughts, your feelings. And soon your entire being is inside this harmonious way of being. And now bring attention and imagine that there is a spinning golden ball of light just above your head. And sense into this largeness of being. And sense the potency of its warmth, the brightness of its glow, and its resiliency through time and space. Now visualize this golden ball of light moving out and beginning to encircle your entire body, moving all around you. And sense it being right here with you in this time, but also carrying the richness of your history through all of your incarnations, all of your strivings, your falling down, and your getting back up. Sense all this as an imprint on this energy field, creating a rich tapestry of experience. And now sense the connection of these imprints to your physical body, to your mind and emotions, in a continuum of connection that moves from more dense to least dense. And sense into this least dense part of your energy field, into the permeability of the energy field of your 8th chakra. And each of these imprints, notice how they are open and receptive to the influence of your imagination. And now sense into the part of your 8th chakra that is connected to the future, to all that you are becoming. Sense into this part of yourself as a clean slate, a clear and clean and open slate for new suggestions. Beautiful willingness to receive new possibilities, new beginnings. Now scan the imprints in your 8th chakra to see if there are any areas in your physical body that need healing. Rumi says your wound is the place where the light enters you. So take a moment to nourish this part of your being with your intentions and visions of love. See this area of your body filled with life and light. Return to its optimal way of functioning, and then see this imprint dissolve into light. Now take another scan and see if there is another area in your body that needs healing. Take a moment to nourish this part of your being with your intentions and vision of love. See this area of your body filled with life and light, returning it to its optimal way of functioning. And see this imprint in your 8th chakra dissolve into light. As the imprint heals in your 8th chakra, healing will also take place in your physical body. You can do this visualization regularly for other parts of your physical body or for your mind and emotions. Jesus said, "I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly." Breathe the light in these words into your entire being and know that without a doubt that this is the way it really is.
Thank you, Lisa, for your meditation on the 8th chakra, beyond time and space. So as we feel that, I'm just inviting you to take this wonderful energy with you. And you know what? If you're joining us today and you kind of like this, I just want you to know that you can join us for fellowship right after the service at 11 o'clock. And Antanas will be with us, and you can ask him any questions that you may have. And it'll be for 1 hour, about 45 minutes, from 11 to about 11:45. Now, you can register on the website. You can check it out, the instructions in the comment section. Please join us. Also, step 2, there's a free class Antanas will be delivering, and it is entitled Discover the Power of Nourishment. And it's going to be on Monday, February the 8th at 4 o'clock. So go and register, invite a family member, invite a friend, anybody that could use some wonderful insights in the mystical art of healing. And if this service has supported you in any kind of way, just one of all like to see if you could just click on the subscribe button that supports this ministry. Also, share this service with a family member or a friend, a co-worker that's maybe looking for some inspiration. The other thing, I'm inviting you to partnership with us. Just pray with and for us. Also, if you need prayer support, you can go to our website and click on the prayer request, and we'll be glad to support you in prayer. Bottom line, also, in order for us to keep going, we could utilize any financial support that you so most generously and lovingly can give. If it feeds you, or if you want to share it with other people so that we can keep it going, we would love that. As in, we close every week. The prayer for protection is for ourselves, for our country, and for the world. It's coming up on the screen, and I'd like for us to say it together. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We're the presence of God. So wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad, people done forgot